Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Linehan. If you had the opportunity to save lives just by giving up something that you no longer needed yourself, would you? I think most of us would. My purpose here today is to persuade you all to consider marking yes to your organ donor. I'm credible to discuss this topic with you because I myself am an organ donor. I've done a lot of research on the topic, and I've helped my best friend's mother through the process of donating her organs. Throughout this speech, I'll explain some of the myths associated with organ donation, what can be donated, and how to become a donor. Organ donation is a difficult discussion to have. No one really wants to discuss their own death. There's a lot of myths associated with organ donation that may make these conversations even more uncomfortable, or even prevent people from becoming an organ donor in the first place. People may be worried about their eligibility of becoming a donor at all. They may have medical conditions or feel that they are too young or too old. The truth is, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, anyone, regardless of age or medical history, can sign up to be a donor. It's up to the transplant team at the time of death to determine what donation options would be. Organdonor.gov states that the oldest organ donor to date was 93 years old. People in need of organ donations are all ages, and unfortunately we cannot control when we die. It's never too early to make the decision to become an organ donor. There are some fears associated with this topic. People may be worried that if they see that they're a donor at the hospital, that they won't try to save their life. This is not the case. When you are sick or injured, the hospital's one and only priority is to save your life. Donation is never an option until all life-saving efforts have failed. Another common fear is not having the support of their religion. Fortunately, most major religions in the United States support donation, considering a final act of love and generosity. Many of us already have an idea about what happens during organ donation. We may have heard of people receiving a heart or another main organ from a donor. There are many things that can be donated that we do not often think of, but they're also very critical to saving lives. Organ donors are not always deceased. Living donors can donate one kidney, one lung, a portion of their liver, pancreas, or intestine. Living donors can also donate blood and platelets, which is something you can do more than once. And as a living donor, you can also donate bone marrow or a newborn's umbilical cord. As a deceased donor, according to the American Association of Tissue Banks, most people can donate tissue. Deceased donors can donate their organs, corneas, tissues, and most recently their hands and face. Just as an organ and tissue donor, you could save or greatly enhance the lives of around 50 people. Are you not sure how to become a donor? There are a couple ways to register. First, you need to make the decision to become a donor. This is a personal decision. And if you have additional questions, I'd suggest you do some research on organdonor.gov. From that website, you can either sign up online, or you can take the time to sign up in person at your local motor vehicle department. It only takes a few minutes. Just bring a form of identification. And the last step is to let your fans and family know. This is how they will know what to expect at the time of your death, and they'll be better able to support your wishes. If you're interested in becoming a living donor, that process is different. For more information on becoming a living donor, contact the National Living Donor Assistance Center. In conclusion, becoming an organ donor could help you save lives just by giving up something you're no longer using. I hope that overcoming some of the myths associated with organ donation, having education on all the different parts of the body that can be donated, and with the information on how to register, you can mark yes on your organ donor.